The United States has spent the last 100 years pulling off things the rest of the world thought were impossible. The country that invented the airplane, landed on the moon, and built the internet is not slowing down. Right now, inside labs and factories across America, engineers are testing machines that look like they were pulled straight from a science fiction movie. We are talking about cars that rotate 90 degrees and take off straight from the highway. Personal jetpacks that anyone can learn to fly in an afternoon. Robots that unload 1,000 boxes an hour without making a single mistake. And drones that float above your house and lower medicine to your front door on a cable without ever landing. These are not ideas drawn on a whiteboard. They are real working machines, and 8 of them are about to change how the entire planet moves, works, and lives. The United States has always been a place where the impossible becomes reality, and what is being built right now goes far beyond anything we have seen before. If you are enjoying videos like this, please hit the like button because it takes a lot of effort to make these, and subscribe so you do not miss the next one. If you're enjoying this so far, you'll love what we put together next. We created an ebook featuring 30 of America's most incredible mega projects, groundbreaking machines, and engineering breakthroughs that are quietly reshaping the future, yet hardly anyone is talking about them. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the pinned comment to grab your copy while the launch sale is still on. Now, let's get back to it. What you are about to see is not a far-off dream. It is happening right now, and the machines at the top of this list are already operating in cities around you. But to understand how we got from regular planes and cars to machines that fly off the street, you first need to see what American companies are building right now, starting with a plane that crosses the ocean in half the time it takes to watch a movie. Number 8. Boom Supersonic Overture. Think about the last time you sat on an airplane for 10 hours. Your back hurt, the air was dry, the food was terrible, and you arrived feeling like you needed a full day just to recover from the trip itself. Now imagine cutting that time down to 3.5 hours. That is exactly what the Boom Supersonic Overture is designed to do. Built by a company in Colorado called Boom Supersonic, this is the first supersonic passenger jet built in modern history. It flies at Mach 1.7, which is more than twice the speed of any commercial airplane flying today. A trip from New York to London that normally takes 7 or 8 hours would take just 3.5 hours. A flight from Tokyo to Seattle would shrink down to about 6 hours. Full-day journeys turn into morning to afternoon trips. You could leave New York after breakfast and be in London in time for a late lunch. Business travelers who now lose 2 entire days to a round trip could make the journey and be back home the same day. But the most impressive part happened in January of 2025. The company built a smaller test plane called the XB-1, and it did something nobody had done since the Concorde retired. It broke the sound barrier 3 times in a row in under 15 minutes without creating a sonic boom that could be heard on the ground. That is a huge deal, because sonic booms are the entire reason supersonic flights over land were banned in the first place. When a plane breaks the sound barrier, it creates a massive shockwave that hits the ground like a thunderclap. For decades, the United States government said no commercial plane could fly faster than sound over American soil because it would shatter windows and scare people and animals. The Concorde, the only supersonic passenger jet ever built before this, could only fly over the ocean for that exact reason. But in June of 2025, the US government lifted that ban for the first time in 52 years. That opened the door for supersonic flights over land, which means you could fly from New York to Los Angeles in record time. This is not just a prototype sitting in a hangar. United Airlines, American Airlines, and Japan Airlines have already placed more than 130 firm orders for the Overture. Airlines do not spend billions of dollars on planes they think might work someday. They place orders when they see real results. The age of spending entire days trapped in a metal tube at 35,000 feet might finally be coming to an end, and the plane bringing that change is already in production. But air travel is not the only thing getting a massive upgrade. The way you get to the airport in the first place is about to change too, and the next machine on this list might make you forget about traffic forever. Number 7. Joby S4. If you have ever sat in the back of a taxi in Manhattan, you know the feeling. The traffic is barely moving, the meter is ticking, and you are watching the minutes tick down to your flight departure time. A trip from Midtown Manhattan to JFK Airport can easily take an hour by car on a bad day. On a really bad day, it can take even longer. But a company in California called Joby Aviation has built a machine that turns that hour-long nightmare into a 7-minute flight. The machine is called the Joby S4, and it is an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. That means it does not need a runway. It goes straight up, flies where you need to go, and lands straight down. Think about that for a second. No taxiing, no waiting in line behind 10 other planes, no sitting on a highway watching brake lights for 45 minutes. You step in, lift off, and 7 minutes later you are at your terminal. The S4 can carry up to 4 passengers at speeds of 320 kilometers per hour. It produces 0 emissions, and it is nearly silent, so it does not sound like a helicopter tearing through the sky. If you have ever had a helicopter fly over your house, you know how loud and disruptive that can be. The Joby S4 is designed to be so quiet that people on the ground barely notice it passing overhead. It can also operate in a fully autonomous mode, meaning no pilot is needed. The numbers behind this project are impressive. In 2025 alone, the company completed more than 850 test flights, which was a 260% increase over the previous year. Since the program began, these aircraft have logged over 80,000 kilometers of flight. That is enough distance to circle the Earth twice. Delta Airlines has already signed an agreement to use the Joby S4 to transport passengers between Midtown Manhattan and JFK Airport. That hour-long car ride becomes a 7-minute flight. The world's first commercial passengers will use this service in Dubai in 2026, and after that, it will expand to cities around the globe. While other countries are still writing the rulebooks for flying taxis, the United States is already building the aircraft that will fly them. But what if you do not want to share a flying taxi with 3 other people? What if you want to own a machine that can drive on the highway and then fly over it? That brings us to the next invention on our list, and it looks like it was driven straight out of a movie. Number 6. Alef Model A. In 1985, the movie Back to the Future showed us a flying car that people could actually own and park in their driveway. For 40 years, that stayed pure science fiction. Every few years, some company would announce a flying car, and it always turned out to be either a small plane with wheels that could barely drive or a car that could barely fly. But in 2025, a California startup called Alef Aeronautics turned it into reality with the Alef Model A. This is the world's first electric vehicle that is legally street legal and can also take off vertically and fly. On the ground, it drives like a normal car and can travel up to 320 kilometers. In the air, it lifts straight off the street, flies up to 180 kilometers, and lands wherever you need it. When you are done, you park it in any regular parking spot. You do not need a hangar or a special landing pad. You drive it home, park it in your garage, and charge it overnight, just like any other electric car. The way they pulled this off is brilliant. When you activate flight mode, the entire body of the car rotates 90 degrees on its side. The sides of the car become lift surfaces, and the hidden propulsion units become propellers. It works exactly like the flying cars in the movies. The Federal Aviation Administration has already granted it an airworthiness certificate, which means the government has looked at it and said, yes, this is safe to fly. Getting an airworthiness certificate from the FAA is not easy. It requires months of testing and review. The fact that the Alef Model A passed means this is a real aircraft, not just a concept. The company has more than 3,500 orders already, and in December of 2025, production of the first units began. The starting price is $300,000, which sounds like a lot, but the company says that once it reaches mass production, the cost could drop to the level of a compact car. That means in the future, flying cars might not just be for the super rich. They could become as normal as a sedan parked in your garage. Think about the first cell phones. They cost thousands of dollars, and only the wealthiest people had them. A decade later, everyone had one. The same pattern could happen here. But what if you do not want to take your whole car into the sky? What if you just want to strap something to your back and fly off without any vehicle around you at all? That takes us to the next machine on this list, and it is something almost every kid has dreamed about. Number 5. Jetpack Aviation JB-10. Everyone has dreamed about flying. Not in a plane, not in a helicopter, but just you and the sky. Until recently, that was pure fantasy. Every jetpack you ever saw in a movie or at a science fair was either a special effect or a dangerous machine that could barely stay in the air for 30 seconds. But a company in California called Jetpack Aviation has made it real. The JB-10 is not a science experiment or a prototype that might work someday. It is the only personal jetpack in the world certified by the FAA and available to the public. It uses 2 turbojet engines that generate over 150 kilograms of combined thrust. It can reach speeds of up to 190 kilometers per hour and has a theoretical altitude of over 4,500 meters. To put that in perspective, 4,500 meters is higher than most small planes ever fly. The way you control it is completely intuitive. The pilot vectors the engine thrust with their hands, exactly the way a fighter pilot controls thrust vectoring nozzles. Anyone can learn to use it in just a few hours. You do not need a pilot's license or hundreds of hours of training. You put it on, someone teaches you the basics, and within an afternoon you are flying. What many people do not know is that the United States Special Operations Command is already actively testing it for tactical missions. If you can fly to a hard-to-reach location in 8 minutes, you completely change the rules of the game. A soldier could launch from a ship, fly to a rooftop, and be there before anyone on the ground even knows what is happening. The current flight time is around 8 minutes, and pricing starts at $295,000. Think about what this means. Until very recently, flying like this was pure science fiction. Now it is a product in a catalog with a price tag. You can actually buy a jetpack, learn to fly it in an afternoon, and take to the sky. The fact that you can purchase a personal jetpack right now, today, is something that would have sounded impossible just 10 years ago. But the machines on this list are not just for the air. Some of the most incredible inventions are designed to work in places you would never expect, and the next one takes us off the road and into the water. Number 4. Sea Breacher X. What exactly is the Sea Breacher X? Is it a boat, a submarine, or a waterborne aircraft? The answer is that there is no category that really fits it, and that is exactly what makes it so special. Built by a company in California called Innespace Productions, the Sea Breacher X has the body of a 3-meter shark. It can reach 80 kilometers per hour on the surface of the water. It dives up to 1.5 meters below the water, and it launches completely out of the water like a flying fish. Picture a great white shark breaching the surface, soaring through the air for a few seconds, then crashing back down into the waves. That is essentially what this machine does, except you are sitting inside it controlling every move. What makes it truly unique is its patented vectored propulsion system, which accurately replicates the tail movements of real sharks. It operates on 3 simultaneous axes of control, just like an aircraft: pitch, roll, and yaw. Nothing like this exists on any conventional watercraft in the world. A normal boat turns left or right. The Seabreacher X can pitch forward, roll on its side, and yaw in any direction, all at the same time. The pilot and co-pilot are sealed inside a hermetic cockpit, fighter jet style. The United States Coast Guard has certified it as a recreational vessel, but those who have piloted it all say the same thing. The closest experience that exists is flying a fighter jet underwater. Pricing starts at $85,000, and there are month-long waiting lists to get 1 point. This machine is proof that American inventors are not just focused on the sky and the road. They are pushing the limits of what is possible in every environment, even underwater. The Seabreacher X shows that the same engineering spirit that builds rockets and jet fighters can also create something that lets you swim like a shark and fly like a fish. But the next invention on our list is not about recreation or thrills. It is about giving people superhuman strength and completely changing how humans work in factories and warehouses. Number 3. Sarco's Guardian XO. What if any worker could lift 90 kilograms and feel like it weighed only 4? What if a 60-year-old could work at full capacity for 8 straight hours with no fatigue and no injuries? A company in Utah called Sarcos has made that happen with the Guardian XO. This is a full-body exoskeleton that has 24 independent electric motors, one for every axis of movement in the human body. It multiplies the operator's strength up to 20 times with no perceptible delay. It detects every muscle movement and amplifies it instantly. When you try to lift something heavy, the suit senses the effort and does the heavy lifting for you. You feel like you are picking up a feather, but the object weighs as much as a full-grown man. You can put it on and take it off in under 30 seconds. That is faster than putting on a winter coat. The batteries are hot swappable, meaning you can swap them out without powering down, so the exoskeleton can run all day without stopping. A worker comes in, puts on the suit, works their entire shift, and goes home without the back pain and joint damage that usually come from years of heavy lifting. And we are not talking about a lab prototype. Delta Airlines uses it in its cargo warehouses. The United States Army is deploying it in real operations. Construction companies across the country have been putting it on their workers for years. Most telling of all, Caterpillar, Microsoft, and GE Ventures have already invested in the company. When industrial giants bet like that, the message is clear. This is not the future. It is already the present. The Guardian XO proves that American innovation is not just about flying higher or going faster. It is about using technology to make human workers stronger, safer, and more productive. This suit could keep older workers in their jobs longer, reduce workplace injuries, and allow people to do physical work that would normally destroy their bodies over time. But the next machine on our list takes a different approach. Instead of helping humans lift things, it replaces them entirely, and it is already working in warehouses right now. Number 2. Boston Dynamics Handle. Everyone knows Boston Dynamics for its robots that jump, dance, and do backflips. Those viral videos have been making the rounds for years. You have probably seen them on social media. A robot doing parkour, another one opening a door, another one spinning in circles. But while everyone was watching the Atlas robot do acrobatics, something more important was happening quietly. Handle, a robot designed to actually work, was taking over the world's largest logistics warehouses. Handle uses deep learning computer vision to identify and locate boxes of any size, shape, or position. It can unload trucks, build pallets, and depalletize freight at a rate of up to 1,000 boxes per hour. Non-stop. No breaks, no errors from fatigue. A human worker might unload 200 boxes in an hour before needing to rest. Handle does 1,000 and never gets tired. DHL, one of the largest logistics operators on the planet, has committed to purchasing more than 1,000 units, and Boston Dynamics is already working with Google DeepMind on a new artificial intelligence layer that will allow these robots to learn new tasks in minutes rather than weeks. Right now, if you want a robot to do something new, you have to program it line by line, which takes weeks of work from highly trained engineers. With this new AI layer, you could show the robot what to do once, and it would learn the task on its own. Warehouse managers who have deployed them all say the same thing. Productivity did not improve by 20% or 30%, it changed category entirely. By 2030, some facilities are already projecting to operate in lights-out mode. That means 0 human workers on the night shift. The robots do it all. The lights go off, the robots keep working, and the warehouse keeps running. This is the reality of American innovation right now. Robots are not just doing tricks on YouTube. They are taking over real jobs in real warehouses, and they are doing it faster and better than humans ever could. But the #1 invention on this list is not the most spectacular to look at or the most expensive to build. It is the one that is already saving lives right now, and most people have never even heard of it. Number 1. Zipline P2. We have reached number 1. This is not the most spectacular invention to look at, or the most expensive, or the hardest to build. It is the one that is already changing the most real lives right now, and that most people still have not heard of. Pay close attention, because this is going to impress you. A company called Zipline has spent years delivering blood and medicine by drone across Africa. They have already completed over 1 million deliveries worldwide. In parts of Rwanda and Ghana, if a hospital needs emergency blood for a surgery, they do not send a truck through hours of traffic on dirt roads. They send a text message, and within minutes, a Zipline drone drops the package from the sky. They have already completed over 1 million deliveries worldwide, but their new generation, the P2, takes that technology to a completely different level. What this drone does is genuinely ingenious. It flies to your location, hovers in the air, and from its underside lowers the package on a cable. It places it in an area of just half a square meter, whether on your balcony, in your garden, or at the entrance of a hospital. It does this without needing to land or requiring any ground operator. Think about why that matters. A regular delivery drone has to land, which means it needs a clear, flat space and can hit obstacles on the ground. The P2 never touches the ground. It stays in the air, lowers the package like a miniature elevator, and flies away. With a 20-kilometer range, its applications are redefining what we thought was possible. Pharmacies sending insulin within minutes. Hospitals receiving blood bags for emergencies in real time. Michigan Medicine, Mayo Clinic, and Walmart in Dallas are already using it right now. This company is not building the future of Amazon packages. It is building the healthcare infrastructure of the 21st century from the sky. While other companies on this list are building machines for travel or for warehouses, Zipline is building a system that can deliver life-saving medicine to your front door in minutes. This is American innovation at its absolute best, using technology not just to make life faster or easier, but to keep people alive. Before you go, don't forget to check out our ebook packed with 30 of America's most incredible mega projects, groundbreaking machines, and engineering breakthroughs. Just scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the pinned comment to grab your copy while the launch sale is still on. Now, let's wrap things up. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. There are related videos on the screen right now if you want to keep watching. So here is a question for you. Which of these 8 inventions do you think will have the biggest impact on your daily life? Let me know in the comments.